This is the Daily Roundup on the EAC Cambodia channel. A very good evening to you. I'm Andrew Barnes-Roberts. Making headlines tonight. Cambodia's COVID-19 death toll tops 1,000, with 39 new deaths being reported overnight. Over 5,000 troops deployed to quell South Africa's worst violence since the end of apartheid. And put one on your Christmas wish list. The latest jet suit is unveiled in the UK. Cambodia has reached the grimmest of milestones in its fight against COVID-19. The kingdom's total number of fatalities has breached 1,000, with 39 new deaths being reported overnight. The total death toll now stands at 1,025. EAC News reporter Rayo Soko.
It was in the early hours of Saturday, the 20th of February, when 4 Chinese nationals bribed their way out of quarantine at Soka Hotel. They went on to visit several upmarket condos in Kopik before ending their night on the town at a nightclub. 2 of them had COVID-19. 1 of them had the Alpha or UK variant. We're now almost exactly 5 months later, and it's hard to imagine a worse situation. On the 19th of February, Cambodia had been managing to contain COVID-19 successfully. The country had reported barely 400 cases and 0 deaths. As of Thursday, July 15, the Ministry of Health says there are now 64,611 COVID-19 cases, with 996 more being reported overnight. 167 of those are imported cases. 813 patients have been discharged since Wednesday, taking the total number of successful treatments to 56,178. But the numbers are hard to stomach when you consider how well Cambodia had been doing.
The February 20 community transmission events shows no signs of slowing down. If Cambodia has to start reducing its numbers, everyone has to play their part and observe the 3 main preventive measures: wash your hands, wear a mask, and maintain a safe social distance. Rhea Soko, EAC News, Phnom Penh.
Foreigners living in Siem Reap are being invited to register for vaccinations. The province will begin its inoculations drive next Tuesday. In line with Wednesday's announcement from the Health Ministry, there will be a 21-day interval between doses of Chinese vaccines. If you're living in Siem Reap and haven't yet submitted a request for vaccination, you can do so at the Siem Reap Municipal Administration. There is some paperwork you'll need, though. A passport with a visa valid until at least the end of July. If your visa has expired, you'll need an extension. And if you're on any chronic medication, you'll need to show a prescription or a health certificate. Vaccines for foreigners will be administered at the Siem Reap Referral Hospital. The provincial administration has emphasized that vaccination is on a voluntary basis and is free of charge. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations is to focus on improving transport and logistics across the region with the help of Japan. The region's senior transport officials have held a meeting with Japan to set new objectives and an agenda for the 19th ASEAN-Japan Transport Meeting to be held in November. This week's virtual meeting was hosted by the Director General of the Ministry of Transport's Logistics Department, Mr. Chiang Pik. ASEAN is well on the road to improving its transport network and logistics. The focus right now is an ICT solution for overloaded vehicle management, as well as a regional standard for cold chain logistics. Most interesting to Cambodians, though, are efforts on improving mobility. The country is already hard at work improving its road network with the Phnom Penh-Sihanoukville Expressway and the Phnom Penh-Bavet Expressway. The capital is also looking at a sky train for the city, as well as a monorail that would link it with its new airport. Projects such as these will be discussed in more detail in November as Cambodia prepares to take over the chairmanship of ASEAN for 2022. The Environment Ministry has urged the public to dispose of their old batteries, laptops and phones properly. It has set up e-waste disposal bins at select supermarkets and gas stations in Phnom Penh. This is part of government's efforts to help protect the environment. The environmental group Cambodia Green Will has welcomed the move. They spoke to EAC News reporter Rayo Soko.
The youth hold the future of the country. This is what the project coordinator of youth organization Cambodia Green Will, Mr. Neil Sangvat Reksa, says as they welcome the initiative of the Ministry of Environment in placing e-waste disposal bins in Phnom Penh. He's encouraging other youth to support government's initiative.
We have the creativity, and the creativity is the imagination, the responsibility. So we can use our creativity to help our society to cope with the environmental issue. We cannot blame, we cannot finger point to anybody, but we as a citizen need to take a part to solve that problem.
Director of the Hazardous Substances Management Department in the Ministry of Environment, Mr. Supala Laska, says waste batteries are considered hazardous because they contain highly toxic substances such as mercury, nickel, and lead, which are harmful to both the environment and humans. Ministry spokesman Mr. Net Piaktra has appealed to the public to dispose of their e-waste properly. There are 12 supermarkets and gas stations where this can be done, including Chip Mong Noro Mall, Boraping Huth, and PTT gas station. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
Well, let's take a look now at news making headlines around the world. South Africa's worst violence in decades shows no signs of abating. At least 72 people have been killed in riots and looting rampages across the country, the worst of it in the coastal city of Durban. The unrest was sparked by the jailing of former President Jacob Zuma on contempt of court charges, but has led to an explosion of frustration at the state the country is in 27 years after the end of apartheid. The Zuma Foundation says the violence will not end until he's released. 5,000 troops have been mobilized in an effort to contain the unrest, which has also spread to the financial capital Johannesburg, where a 15-year-old boy was killed by a stray bullet on Wednesday. Authorities in Australia have extended Sydney's lockdown by at least another 14 days. 3 weeks of restrictions have failed to reduce the number of COVID-19 infections. 97 new locally transmitted cases were reported on Wednesday, an increase from the day before. The governor of New South Wales says the lockdown will only be lifted when the number of newly reported community cases is close to zero. The shutdown has already been extended twice. Total infections since the first case was detected in mid-June now stand at just under 900. 2 deaths have also been reported in recent weeks, the first COVID deaths in Australia since last year. And an emotional reunion for a Chinese man and his son 24 years after his kidnapping. His father had spent those years zigzagging across China on his motorbike looking for him. Police eventually tracked down a man fitting the son's description in central Henan province back in June, but needed to wait for DNA tests to confirm his identity. Guo Jinzhen, who is now a 26-year-old teacher, was kidnapped at the age of 2 back in 1997 while playing outside his home. He was then sold to another family. State broadcaster CCTV showed footage of the emotional reunion at a police station. 2 people have been arrested for the abduction. Stay with the EAC Cambodia channel. Coming up after the break, Alessio Mitsoni with sport and lifestyle. EAC News fully supports the Royal Government of Cambodia's preventative and administrative measures against COVID-19. But we need you to play your part in helping bring the 20 February community transmission event to an end. Wash your hands regularly, sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code and maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, 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 wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19. EAC Cambodia's audience is growing. Our YouTube channel now has 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube, given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates eArts Cambodia's hard work and incredible achievement. She says not only has eArts Cambodia brought a unique voice and style to the world, but has also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers, and we'd really like that Gold Creator Award. So if you're not already a subscriber, head to www.youtube.com/eArtsCambodia. Subscribers get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. We'll see you there. If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of eArts Cambodia's platforms and channels. YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eartscambodia.com. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
Welcome back to the Daily Roundup. A young Cambodian woman is busy climbing the world's rankings in billiards. Surong PV has joined one of the biggest tournaments in the world and is already top of the table. PV recently joined the Professional Billiards Association that organizes the most prestigious international tournaments in South Korea. The competition started on the 6th of July and will end on the 31st. The 31-year-old is already on top with a total score of 20,000 points to date, which converts to a cash prize already of almost $18,000. Players from around the world are competing for the grand prize of $100,000. PV hails from Tbong Khmum and is known as Cambodia's billiards beauty. She married a Korean a few years ago and emigrated to South Korea, where she started playing billiards professionally. She believes there's a bright future for enthusiasts in the kingdom. Her next goal is to build a sports school in Cambodia where she can teach and inspire the youth to play more sport and be as skilled as those in other countries. You might not have to wait too much longer before you're flying over Phnom Penh traffic. Brit Richard Browning, the founder of Gravity Industries, has revealed a new battery-powered jet suit that can lift you up to 3,000 meters off the ground. Jet suits are not new, but the way they are powered is. Gravity Industries' latest models uses batteries instead of liquid fuel. Richard Browning said the electric version is a physical manifestation of the desire to constantly push the boundaries of what's possible. And his prototype certainly works. Electric jet suits have a long way to catch up though, with fuel-powered models. This demo model can only fly for a few seconds, as opposed to the latter that have a flying time of about 4 minutes. Gravity Industries says interest is high though, with the Royal Marines currently testing the product. Let's hope it's coming soon to a jetpack store near you. Up next, we'll have a look at tomorrow's weather.
Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on the EARTS Cambodia channel. We'll get more breaking news and updates on our website. Head to www.e-artscambodia.com. You could also subscribe to our Telegram channel, EAC News. Friday tomorrow. We'll see you at 8.